Welcome to Morning Joan, the only podcast where we dish out the latest in entertainment news with a side of sass and a whole lot of sparkle. I'm your host, Joan. I'm thrilled to have you joining me today. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into the juiciest stories from the world of TV and beyond. So, the BAFTA Awards happened, and honey, it was a night to remember. The stars came out to shine, and we've got all the tea on who won, who lost, and who slayed the red carpet. But first, let's talk about the biggest winner of the night, Alma's Not Normal, which took home the award for Best Scripted Comedy. I mean, have you seen this show? It's hilarious, it's heartwarming, and it's got a whole lot of attitude. And speaking of attitude, Sophie Willan, the creator and star of Alma's Not Normal, was beaming with pride as she accepted her award. But don't get too excited, folks, because she also announced that there won't be a third series of the show. However, she did hint at something new in the pipeline, perhaps a Christmas special? Fingers crossed, because we need more of Alma's Not Normal in our lives. Now, let's talk about some of the other big winners of the night. Mr. Loverman took home several awards, including Best Drama, and Lenny James gave an emotional speech about the importance of telling stories that spark conversations in the wider community. And can we just give a round of applause to Kirsty Wark, who received a BAFTA fellowship, and proved that she's still got it at 70. I mean, if I look half as good as she does at that age, I'll be one happy woman. Of course, no awards show would be complete without some major upsets. The Traitors missed out on all three of its nominations, including Best Reality Series, which went to Channel 4's Jury Murder Trial instead. But don't worry, fans of the show, because a second series is already in the works. And finally, let's give a shoutout to Clive Myrie, who won the Daytime BAFTA for his BBC Two show, Caribbean Adventure. He's heading to Africa next week to film the second series, and he joked that he'd love to have the new Pope join him on his travel. I mean, can you imagine? The Pope on a reality TV show? It's got ratings gold written all over it. That's all for now, folks. We'll be right back with more tea on Morning Joan. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Morning Joan. I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. We've got some fascinating stories to share with you in this segment, so grab another cup of coffee and get comfortable. You know, history is full of interesting milestones and memories, and today is no exception. Let's start with a notable birthday. Rami Malek, the talented actor who brought Queen's Freddie Mercury to life on the big screen, is turning 44 today. His portrayal in Bohemian Rhapsody earned him numerous awards, including an Oscar for Best Actor. I must say he was absolutely phenomenal in that role. But that's not all. Today also marks the anniversary of Florence Nightingale's birth. This pioneering nurse and statistician paved the way for modern nursing, and her work during the Crimean War saved countless lives. She's an inspiration to us all, and her legacy continues to influence healthcare to this day. And if you're a fan of skateboarding, you'll be excited to know that Tony Hawk is celebrating his 57th birthday today. This legendary skateboarder has been defying gravity for decades, and his iconic 900 trick is still widely revered in the skating community. We're also looking back at some significant events in history, including Jimmy Carter's visit to Cuba in 2002, where he called for reforms and an end to the embargo. And who can forget the first U.S. president to visit Cuba since Castro's revolution? It's amazing to think about how far we've come since then. Last but not least, let's give a shout out to all the nurses out there, as today is International Nurses Day. These dedicated professionals work tirelessly behind the scenes to care for us when we need it most, and we're grateful for their hard work and compassion. That's all for this segment, folks. Stay tuned for today's last cup of tea, right here on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan, darlings. Can we talk about the latest trend that's got everyone buzzing? It's all about retro hairstyles, specifically from Japan's Showa era. I mean, who wouldn't want to rock a look that's reminiscent of a bygone era? The larger-than-life hairstyles of that time are truly unmistakable, and I am here for it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sculpted waves, sleek updos, voluminous curls. Isn't that just a lot of work? And to that, I say, oh, grow up. A good hairstyle is all about making a statement, darling. And if you're not willing to put in the effort, then maybe you should just stick to a ponytail. But seriously, folks, these retro looks are not just for the faint of heart. They require skill, patience, and a lot of hairspray. I mean, have you seen the videos of Mitsunobu Onoda, working his magic at Miyu Hair Studio? The man is a genius with scissors and his attention to detail is unparalleled. And it's not just about the hair itself, darlings. It's about the entire aesthetic. The vintage photographs, the elegant mirrors, the nostalgia of it all. It's like stepping back in time, but with better lighting and more filters. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, but Joan, I don't even have the time or the skills to pull off a look like that. And to that, I say, trust me on this. With a little practice and patience, anyone can achieve these retro hairstyles. Just remember it's all about the details, the texture, the volume, the sleekness. And if you're still unsure, just take a look at some of the videos on TikTok and Instagram. The younger generation is eating up these retro looks, and it's not hard to see why. They're chic, they're sophisticated, and they're utterly fabulous. So there you have it, folks. The latest trend in hairstyles that's got everyone talking. And if you don't believe me, just ask the 580,000 people who viewed Onoda's work on social media. That's right, darlings. Retro is back, and it's bigger than ever. That's all for today's morning, Joan. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay fabulous.